Right, well, we haven't had one of these for a few months. I think we may have got one coming in for repair from a customer, but this is one of my own, and Mark's put wants a tune on it with a Midland 77095, and it's a PR2794. I can't remember whether they all are, which means it's going to have a minimum receiver specification like crystal filters. So the foibles of these sets, apart from dry joints, is the unliked squelch. This has to be the wrong screw. It's a self-tapper. What a stupid thing to do. You know, we don't have spanners on here. That's the right one. Well, no, it's not. Would be if it was a little tiny bit longer. Put that bracket on one side and label it. So basic set, if you have the opportunity to choose between one of these and the Kerno Beta 1100, the Kerno Beta 1100 doesn't have the dry joint problem and doesn't have the squelch problem. And by problem, I don't mean, I shouldn't say problem. The squelch on these is such that unless you plug an aerial in, it often doesn't unmute. So you get somebody with a bare set like this, and plug it in, and the squelch is going to not hiss. 4-pin mic socket, so I think it's standard Cybernet type. I'm going to open it up first, and then we'll go through it. So if Mark's tested it, it looks to me like this one hasn't got any dry joints in it, otherwise works than a bit of a tune-up. So this one's got a full-length power lead. These start off on channel 19 just to annoy us because of the phase lock loop chip being the type that does that. Now I'll plug a mic in, and this is one where the squelch hisses. My goodness, it is. Right, we'll plug into the. We will plug into the test instrument speaker when I find the appropriate wire. Set doesn't have public address. This is one of these foibles that it sits here occasionally unlatching the squelch. Oh no, it does have PA. Take my words back. Right, we'll get that plugged in as well. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Great. And I do like the way it says PA in the window. The only earlier set, 2781 set I'm aware of that did that was the binatone breaker phone. Why is it hovering like this? Oh, I can't even read. Oh, pop the speaker out. I've got a copy of the instruction book on file, so I've got the layout and the circuit diagram, and we've got a third party control adjustment layout. So one of the things it doesn't have, which is sad, it doesn't have low power. Because of it being PR2794, it was no longer a requirement. It's a feature that I find very useful, especially when you're mobile, and especially when all your pals are in cars directly behind you. And they're going to blow your windows out at 4 watts. See what, we'll put that to the right. So let's go through it. I'll switch picture in picture on. I'll tell you that just in case it doesn't appear. Alright, we're going to play that game, are we? So straight away it's doing 2.9 watts. .9 watts. 2.9 watts. That's consistent. No low power. Back to channel 20. 856 milliamps. Very efficient. Quick look at deviation, but we'll come back to that with the other test set. Wall at 1.2. Won't be doing the VCO. Frequency. Now, test gear's only been on 10 minutes. .79079. Tell you what, we'll do that right away, and then we can always adjust it later. So that's starting to be a bit noticeable, but not illegally out. I don't know what's happening there, but I can't feel the adjustment. Just try a different tool. That's weird. Right. What filled that in yet? So it doesn't have a meter. Okay, let's go back to, or go on to the cyanide meter. Put that in the signal generator, 2779125. And we've got 0.52. Not 0.4. It will never do 20. What happens if I turn the volume up? That'll do 20. Shouldn't have to do that. But see, meter's got AGC, so it must be introducing quite a lot of noise at low volume levels. Squelch. Full squelch, and what have we got? Never opens. It's really handy, isn't it? And the squelch threshold. Not 0.25. Right, let's go through it. We do have a power preset on these. So let's see what we bring that up to full, and then we can tune the PA. Oh, here we go again. I don't know why some sets play that game. You know, like an extension speaker 6 inches away. So we're just over at full whack. We're just doing 5.0. Are we doing 5? No, we're doing 4.1. So go through the transmitter. 8, 9, 10. On channel 20 we're looking for the centre of the peak. Because you've got the transmitter on full whack, you need to be quick and unkey in between so as not to overload the transmitter, which will suffer. Isn't designed to run at full whack. Like revving a car up, isn't it? So we're at 4.4 watts at the moment. L3. We don't touch L5, if I'm quite correct, because it's to do with the harmonics. So it's dealt with a spectrum analyzer. Nine, 8, 10, 3, I think it's 5. Let's possibly I will touch it with care. No, it's definitely the harmonic trap. Right, bring the power to 4 watts. So there we are on 4. Let's just see where we are on the other channels. Although it's quite a way out, it was pretty equal. Spot on 4 watts on channel 40. And spot on 4 watts on channel 1. And that's now, let's go back to 20, brought the current consumption to 1.03. Come back to deviation, as I say, we'll do it with the test set. We can't always trust this one for that. Just check it's still on frequency. It is. So I'll write that down. Speak it back in. So we'll start with the detector. Slight adjustment there. And let's now go over to the cyanometer. T1 is there. No improvement there. T2. No improvement there. T3. Can't see one there. T4. Oh no, T4's there. Slight improvement there. Is that T6? Put biggest signal on. It's there. And now we'll read off our new cyanide reading on the wrong scale. My goodness, 0.28. It's another set that I didn't think was moving much. .23. .76. Right, time to fiddle with the squelch. So I've now got squelch on full. Let's just put the attenuator up. And once again, we'll put the signal generator to full whack, nothing. So I'm going to put it to 100 microvolts. And hopefully, we can adjust the squelch to open. Well, it's not going to at 100 microvolts. Let's put the signal generator on full whack. So that yeah. So it doesn't want to ever open until there. And then it's wishy-washy. Right, I've got my signal generator set to a higher scale than I normally have. I'm going to adjust this till it just starts to open. Which is there. No, it just isn't good enough. We've got to set this so it never ever opens, which is ridiculous. Otherwise, you're looking at 10 microvolt squelch on maximum. So our minimum squelch now is 0.25, just like it was before. And I suspect it never opens at full. Never opens at full. It's a poor show. That's the best compromise. So how far does the squelch have to be with my signal generator at full whack for the squelch to actually open? There. We'll look at 10 microvolts. So there we go. Yes, you know, I've chased these sets thinking there's faults, but I said right at the beginning, the squelch is a poor show on these radios. And that's our best compromise, which is more or less where it was set. What if we give it a really, really whacking great signal by putting our walkie-talkie on and transmitting right next to it? Yeah, it will open. So when I say never ever opens from the signal generator, but it will actually open with a radio inches away. So there's the foibles, and they're all the same. And the 099 is the same, and the D version of the baby Midlands, the 77104 and the 77805, also have the same awful squelch arrangement. Well, awful by comparison to other sets. There you are. There's the rider to it. So that's all there is to that. I'll just do the deviation. Plug that into the test set behind me. could be possible these came with an electret mic originally, but I've not seen one with its mic, to be honest. Right, let's see what we get. Wow. Here we go again. Unplug the extension speaker. So it's reading just under 2. Deviation is there. Wallow. I think there's 3 DNTM40s on the shelf, but it takes such a lot of doing. There's also a Grandstand Gemini on the shelf, and that does take a lot of doing. See what the deviation is on the Marconi test set. Wallow. This is 1.8, so it's line to date. Which is why we use the test set. What did I put a mark through that for? 1. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but 1.9, and it's now 2.2 to 2.5 as it should be. So that's not really taken a lot of work. No dry joints. I think the 099 is the corker for dry joints. But as I said at the beginning, the Kerno Beta 1100 is more or less the same circuitry, out of the same factory, but doesn't suffer from dry joints and has a better squelch arrangement. So you get the opportunity, especially for the late version, which is the PR27 one, you've got the crystal filter in the receiver like you have with this, because 2781 hadn't got a receiver minimum specification, whereas by the time we got to 1994 there was a minimum receiver specification. Now, a bit of corrosion around the aerial sockets. Just go around that with the fiberglass brush. It's probably been in a lorry. On the aerial. See whether we can hear anybody. Like the Burner Brigade at Nottingham. AKA Apple Crumble, did he say? Well done, Roger. Right, there we go. Midland 77095 PR27 version. If there's more than one, I thought I'd draw people's attention to the fact. Could be an earlier one. It's a green dot on there, so we know we've done it. So, thank you for watching. Midland 77095, straightforward retune and test from 1994.